Welcome back to Godly Bond channel, where we continue our content on the power of sacred connections in relationship. Before we get started, kindly subscribe to our channel. Lesson 4. Mutual support and encouragement. Bearing one another's burdens in godly relationships. In relationships, the concept of mutual support and encouragement emerges as a cornerstone of responsible and godly connection. Partnerships that thrive are marked by a shared commitment to bear one another's burdens, echoing the biblical exhortation found in Galatians 6:2. We talk about the significance of mutual responsibility in relationships, focusing on how partners can actively support and encourage each other in their journey of faith. By exploring the biblical foundation of bearing one another's burdens and providing practical guidance, we aim to illuminate the path towards creating an environment of love, understanding, and encouragement that mirrors God's intentions for relationships. Scene Script 1. Biblical Foundation. Bearing one another's burdens. The Apostle Paul's counsel in Galatians 6:2, KJV, encapsulates the essence of mutual responsibility in relationships. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. This biblical principle emphasizes the shared responsibility of partners to support and uplift one another in times of challenges, mirroring the sacrificial love modeled by Christ. Scene Script 1. Actively supporting each other. Actively supporting a partner involves a commitment to being present and attentive. This includes empathetic listening, offering a helping hand in times of need, and participating in each other's spiritual journey. Philippians 2:4, KJV, encourages believers to look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others, emphasizing the selflessness required in mutual support. Scene Script 3. Encouraging spiritual growth. Partners have a unique role in fostering each other's spiritual growth. Ephesians 4:29, KJV, underscores the power of words in this context. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Encouragement through positive and uplifting communication contributes to a nurturing environment for spiritual development. 1. Navigating challenges together. Life's challenges are inevitable, and navigating them together strengthens the bond between partners. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, KJV, highlights the strength in unity. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Facing challenges hand in hand exemplifies the mutual responsibility inherent in godly relationships. 1. Fostering love, understanding, and encouragement. Godly relationship is characterized by love, understanding, and encouragement. 1 Thessalonians 5:11, KJV, encourages believers to, "Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do." Partners can actively create an environment of love by expressing affection, seeking to understand each other's perspectives, and consistently offering words of encouragement that uplift the spirit. In the symphony of a godly relationship, mutual support and encouragement form a harmonious melody that resonates with the divine design for human connections. Module 5, Lesson 1. Walking in Obedience. Walking in obedience is a profound journey of faith, a deliberate choice to align one's actions, decisions, and lifestyle with the divine will of God. This spiritual commitment transcends mere adherence to rules. It is an intimate and intentional pursuit of living in harmony with God's teachings and commandments. Obedience becomes a transformative pathway, guiding individuals through the complexities of life with a steadfast commitment to honoring God. In this exploration, we delve into the significance of walking in obedience, understanding its roots in the scriptures, and unraveling the transformative power it holds for individuals seeking a closer and more profound connection with their Creator. Lesson 2. Submission and Humility. In relationships, walking in obedience to God's design. The biblical principles of submission and humility emerge as foundational threads, weaving a pattern of godly relationships. Rooted in selflessness and reverence for others, these principles signify a willingness to put others' needs before our own, a testament to the transformative power of walking in obedience. This essay explores the profound implications of submission and humility in relationships, highlighting their roots in Scripture and underscoring the connection between obedience to God's guidance and the manner in which we treat those around us. Through practical examples and advice, we embark on a journey to understand how individuals can cultivate a spirit of humility and submission, fostering relationships that resonate with God's design. 1. Biblical principles of submission and humility. The Bible provides a rich foundation for understanding submission and humility in relationships. Philippians 2:3-4, KJV, encapsulates this principle, urging believers to let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. This biblical mandate underscores the significance of selfless consideration for others, a cornerstone of godly relationships. 1. Obedience in relationship dynamics. Walking in obedience involves more than individual actions. It extends to how we navigate relationships. Ephesians 5:21, KJV, calls for mutual submission. Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. This verse emphasizes that in obedience to God's commandments, individuals are called to submit to and consider the needs of others, mirroring the sacrificial love modeled by Christ. 2. Cultivating a spirit of humility. Humility is a virtue that opens the door to authentic connection. James 4:10, KJV, reinforces this, stating, "Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up." Cultivating a spirit of humility involves acknowledging our limitations, valuing the perspectives of others, and embracing a posture of servant-heartedness in our relationships. 3. Practical examples of submission. Active listening. Actively listening to the concerns, joys, and perspectives of others demonstrates a willingness to submit to their experiences and needs. Servant leadership. Embracing a model of servant leadership as exemplified by Jesus washing the disciples' feet, John 13:1-17, reflects a commitment to humbly serve others. 4. Advice for cultivating submission and humility. Prayer for humility. Seeking God's guidance through prayer for a humble heart is a foundational step in cultivating a spirit of humility. Regular self-reflection. Taking intentional moments for self-reflection fosters awareness of personal motives and encourages the practice of putting others' needs first. Embracing grace. Recognizing that we are all in need of God's grace enables individuals to extend grace and understanding to others, fostering an environment of humility in relationships. Submission and humility in relationships are not merely virtues to be admired, they are transformative principles deeply embedded in the fabric of godly living. By exploring these biblical mandates and understanding their direct correlation to obedience in relationships, individuals can embark on a journey of intentional and selfless connection with others. Cultivating a spirit of humility and submission becomes a pathway to godly relationships, reflecting the love, grace, and sacrificial nature inherent in the teachings of Christ. In this way, walking in obedience becomes not only a personal commitment, but a harmonious dance within the sacred symphony of human connections. Lesson 3. Communication and conflict resolution. Harmonizing obedience in relationships. Communication serves as the lifeblood, shaping connections and either fortifying or eroding the bonds between individuals. The biblical principles of obedience extend their influence into this vital aspect of human interaction, emphasizing the transformative power of words and the sanctity of honest, respectful communication. This essay delves into the role of communication in obedience within relationships, exploring the wisdom found in biblical teachings. Additionally, it navigates the terrain of conflict resolution, illustrating how obedience to God's principles can guide individuals in resolving conflicts in a manner that not only honors Him, but also strengthens the fabric of their relationships. Through practical tips and strategies grounded in biblical wisdom, we embark on a journey to harmonize communication and conflict resolution with the obedience God calls us to practice. 1. Biblical teachings on the power of words. Proverbs 18:21, KJV, vividly illustrates the potency of words. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. This biblical insight emphasizes the weightiness of our words in shaping the quality of relationships. Obedience in communication involves aligning our speech with God's principles, choosing words that breathe life, encouragement, and truth. 2. The importance of honest and respectful communication. Ephesians 4:25, KJV, provides a foundational principle for communication. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Obedience in relationships necessitates honest and respectful communication, reflecting the transparency and authenticity that God desires within His community. 3. Obedience in conflict resolution. Matthew 18:15, KJV, outlines a biblical approach to conflict resolution. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Obedience to God's principles guides individuals in approaching conflict with humility, seeking resolution with a spirit of reconciliation rather than retaliation. 4. Practical tips for effective communication. Active listening. Proverbs 18:13 KJV highlights the value of listening before responding. He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. Actively listening to others demonstrates respect and fosters understanding. Choosing words wisely, Ephesians 4:29 KJV, encourages believers to speak, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." Obedience involves selecting words that edify rather than tear down. 5. Strategies for conflict resolution. Prayerful consideration. Seeking God's guidance in prayer before addressing conflicts enables individuals to approach the situation with humility and wisdom. Seeking mediation, Matthew 18:16 KJV, advises involving others if a resolution is not reached. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. Forgiveness and reconciliation, Ephesians 4:32 KJV, encourages believers to, "And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you." Obedience involves a willingness to forgive and pursue reconciliation. Communication and conflict resolution emerge as pivotal arenas where obedience to God's principles can be vividly demonstrated. By aligning words and actions with biblical teachings, individuals foster an environment of honesty, respect, and reconciliation. In practicing effective communication and conflict resolution rooted in obedience, relationships become sanctuaries where the transformative power of God's principles is not only acknowledged but actively lived out. This harmonization of obedience, communication, and conflict resolution becomes a testament to the grace and wisdom inherent in God's design for human connections. Lesson 4. Love and forgiveness as acts of obedience. Nurturing godly relationships. Love and forgiveness emerge as threads woven with divine purpose, calling individuals to walk in obedience to God's commands. The biblical concept of love transcends mere sentiment, urging a sacrificial and selfless commitment to others. Similarly, the challenge of forgiveness becomes a crucible where obedience to God's command reveals its transformative power. This essay explores the centrality of love as an act of obedience and the pivotal role of forgiveness in maintaining healthy relationships. Through stories and examples, we unveil the profound impact of love and forgiveness on relationships, offering guidance on how individuals can practically embody these virtues in their daily interactions. Kindly like, subscribe, and comment on our video. We will continue our content on the next video.